Hey guys, HerbQuest here with some more Deadman seasonal content. The season is not dead yet, contrary to popular belief. The world population may be low, but it's not the case that everybody's chilling at the GE, as you'll see in this video. Starting off the video right where I left off yesterday, I got myself 2 sets of dragon plate skirts and a set of D legs while I was camping metal dragons. Had a bunch of extended anti-fire potions, so I figured I'd go ahead and use these up here and get some stats back. No luck on any sort of draconical visage though, but I had some pretty decent luck PKing. But before we get into that, to set up my PK trip, I initially started with opening some crystal keys that I got mostly from Slayer and from a couple of people's banks. And I got myself 5 dragon stones, plus I think I had 1 in the bank already, which I cut up into dragon bolts and enchanted those on my alt account, fletched them on this account. And since there was a new cap for the day, I decided to go train some Slayer, the Wilderness Slayer, and I got myself back up to level 85. So now I can go back to Abbey Demons and hunt for a whip, which I did, but unfortunately still dry there. So after finding myself skulled up looking for a 1v1 and kind of feeling like redeeming myself after that fight with Torvesta where I was wearing broad bolts and he called me a rag ranger, I decided to do some redemption PKing, not as in the prayer like what saved me in yesterday's fight, but just seeing what kind of kill count I can rack myself up to as a rag ranger here. Running around multi at sand crabs. It is a little bit sketchy to PK here as a solo PKer, but with how little people are actually online right now, I don't have to worry so much about giant teams. Because normally in the seasonal, there's always teams here just rushing in and killing everybody over and over again, and it's like a clan war spot. But the solo PKing is really nice. I think that'd be a cool feature to prevent clanman mode a little more if the multi-way only worked for NPCs. But red barred this guy with a 42. I thought I would have had him right there. If I had a G-Maul to spec with, that would have been an easy KO. But he was able to heal from that, and I start flicking my prayers a little bit to save on prayer points since I don't really need to defensively pray at all. He's not fighting back, just pure running, playing ladder games, and then I catch him, and he's so low, there's a 0, another 0, 2 zeros in a row, and I caught him trying to catch me behind the door, and finally a hit that's not a 0. So time to loot all this stuff. I end up making a couple trips back and forth to the bank since it's not too far away after hitting up my prayer at the altar. And since there's nobody else here, I felt pretty safe doing so as well. Grabbed a stamina potion just to speed things up a little bit for convenience sake. Over 1,000 broad bolts there. That, or not broad bolts, but bone bolts rather. Those are going for like 7 to 8 each, so that's like a nice little 10k stack right there. And I just go ahead and pilfer everything. And then I go about looking for some more people hopping through the worlds. Then I decided to do something else that's really, really sketchy as a solo player, and that is to PK and multi in an area where I've never been before. And that place is the Sand Crab Island. I don't even know the layout of it because when the island was released, my Iron Man was already past the point of sand crabs because I had already done a good portion of my melee training through Nightmare Zone. So I don't know any of the mechanics of this island or anything, but I figured let's go there and see if we can find some people who think that it's secluded enough out here to AFK. And after a little bit of searching the island and exploring it, I decided it's time to start hopping around. And the first world I go to, there's a white dot on the screen. Two of them, actually. I didn't even check the level of the other guy. I just get straight on this guy with the rune sim. I'm not sure whether that's his friend that he's training with, or if he's just really AFK himself. So I am just basically camping the smite, prayer flicking so I don't lose any prayer at all. And I smite him once right off the bat. And so far so good. It looks like I'll be able to pick this guy off before his friend's even aware of what's going on at all. But being that it is multi though, a team can just drop in at any time, and I'm just working his prayer down right now. He can't have much left for prayer potions, and I don't mind keeping my HP low because I don't mind baiting him into fighting me a little bit, but I am being cautious of his friend. Then right there I get really low with that magic short bow spec, but I'm okay. I don't think I risked it there, but I'm not going to risk it again because I don't know whether or not his magic short bow is imbued. So it looks like this guy can fight back quite a bit. Just keeping on working him. He might think even that when my prayer goes off like that, when I screw up the flicking, that I get smited for a second. So he might think that I'm just straight camping on it. And then his friend finally sees what's going on and he gets on me. And then with a 2-on-1, I try to see if it's possible to dip. I realize that I can't. I'm like, okay, it's time for a 2v1 fight. Let's see how well I can tank these two guys. This other guy's got a D-sim, so range melee hybrid and a straight range like I am. So I just keep on this other guy because he's a little low. And they're both doing some work on me now, but I know this other guy's worked down pretty low as is. I won't be able to smite him very much anymore, though, with his friend on me. If I'm going to change my prayers at all, it's going to be between melee and range. Maybe a little bit of smite here and there. And his friend's running around the island trying to get me to... Well, I don't know what he's trying to do, actually, but I'm just nervous that he was trying to pull me deeper into multi, because there is actually a single square here. One set of brews gone already, and I decided to switch to the D-skirt at this point because I was losing too much HP too fast. Time to bring out the tankness of the range tank build. And I think at this point his friend is telling him about the single square, or maybe he knows about it himself too already because he got the sand crab on him. Because that's how it works. You get a sand crab on you and you can go right in that square. And he's so low right now. And I can't hit him because it says someone else is already fighting your opponent. Then he can get on me from that square, which I thought was strange. And yeah, I didn't know about that square before, but now I see what's going on. And I can't attack him, I can only auto-retaliate on his friend, and I was a little confused about what was going on there. and then he just tabs out, and I'm like, okay, that's messed up. But I got the 2 keys on me. I tell his friend what the fuck, because I didn't realize that that square was single even till I started standing there. And I see the rock crab, or the sand crab, got on me, and it prevented him from attacking me, which was a little bit strange. But I just start camping the smite on this guy, because now that it's a 1v1 again, I don't need to worry about my defenses too much, and his friend didn't get me down too much at all. I can still take quite a bit of damage and take out some of this guy's prayer, and there he's smited right there with another big hit to follow. Now he's trying to stand in the single square, but it doesn't really affect me too much because it's only me here. I don't have a team. Just doing the brew hit maneuver, keeping the damage on him. And then there's just a KO, Dragon Bolt fire out of nowhere. He still even had a little bit of supplies left. So here I'm up to 3 keys. And let's loot everything. Uh-oh. Another person. So it's another 1v1. Thankfully he didn't get here sooner. But I just start doing work on him right away, and I keep on the defensive and start looting some of the extra food on the floor here. And the brews are really nice because you can keep your DPS up while you're sipping on them. And I got that brew before he was able to grab it. And what's really nice is this island makes it so that it's a guaranteed deathmatch area, because you can't leave no matter what. You can't unskull and just step into the bank like I did the other day. You can't, well, I guess you could freeze somebody and teleport away, but I think this island would be really cool if it was singles, just because of how it's like a sort of deathmatch arena with nowhere to run. I see this guy get smited, so I'm getting hopeful. But then again, with how his prayer's coming on and off like that, he might be flicking like I am. One dosage range pot left. I'm going to save it in case I need it. And I just realized I didn't even really end up using the dark bow in any of these fights at all. Trading hits back and forth. It's a 13. Decided to switch it over to smite, because with how much I've worked him, I can deal with eating a little bit of food, and I need to take care of his prayer. Because if he's flicking, he's never going to run out of prayer. And there, he's smited. Now he's running to that single spot, hoping to get the crab on him. He's in the single spot, now he's going to lure a crab, but the D-bolt spec gets him right before he's able to. And as he dies, the first guy also died somewhere, and I get 2 keys. At least I think that's what happened. I don't think he was carrying 2 keys, but I ended up with 5 keys. and then I go to bank and grab everything on the island as quickly as possible because I'm a little bit sketched out at this point because it is multi after all, and I just pretty much own 5 people, and there's already a white dot right there with a guy dressed in Mystic. I was thinking about logging out, but I realized I still have immunity this time, so I just put everything in the bank real quick, and I'm thinking I need to pull out food, but instead I just go straight for the tab. First tab I see, house tab, and I just dip out and home tally. So let's check out what's in these keys with some live commentary. Alright guys, 5 keys. I don't know how I survived that, I really shouldn't have, but let's see what's in these people's banks. Alright, we've got a troll key starting off. Add to the feather collection. Add to the tab collection, that's cool. 200k keys, stamina, shark, boom, there's the bank key. Then 86k, lots of regular strength potions, okay, that's interesting, and a bird's nest. Ooh, an RC too, okay, not too bad. See you guys in the next clip. Since sand crabs went so well the first time, I figured I'd go back and give it another try since the people up here are pretty easy to kill, they're pretty AFK, and most of them are probably alts, I'm assuming that are trying to get level for rank. So I might even pull a fight with one of their mains doing this as well, which is what I'm hoping for really, but you never know what people have in their banks. Heading up to the island again, scouting it out, and I see a drop on the ground, and I ran back when I saw the guy because I was thinking about using my dark bow, but then I saw the white dot and I knew he must have seen me if he's not AFK, so I just went right in for it. And it looks like he is actually AFK. He's over level 100 too, so he might just have a decent bank key, but I don't know why he's AFK in multi. I guess nobody really PKs here because it's so sketchy to PK here. So it's like a dead place that a few people are taking advantage of, and I'm here catching them. So there's another bank key to the collection, and this wasn't a pleb like the first guy. I always get sketched out whenever I kill a level 100 plus in multi because I know it's only a matter of time before someone shows up. So I quickly make my way to the bank and deposit all the loot and make my way back there. Which is a pretty expensive trip. I'm not sure if it's worth it in the long run to have gone back for these tuna potatoes, but I decide I'm going to hop around a little bit and see if I can catch someone else. And I'm looking for that single square because I've seen people stand in it and get away before. I like to keep my view tilted flat so I can see any extra items on the ground from a distance. And then I see this guy, level 92, same level as I am, coming in with a 40 right off the bat with a smite hit as well. Immediately just take his prayer right down. And it's this guy actually who teaches me through demonstration about this square right here. So he runs around, he gets some crabs on him, and then he stands right there where that patch of grass is, and I can no longer hit him. Except for as soon as he's done with a crab. And I'm thinking that maybe I can get on him, but even if I get on him, the multi of the crab for some reason takes priority as if it's like one of those sets of damaged armor, which I think it's a little bit broken, but I don't know, it seems glitchy. It seems glitchy because the crabs are actually taking priority. Because, like, I got a hit in on them the first time, but after the crab hit him, I couldn't hit him anymore. It's very, very strange. But I don't mind waiting for him to kill the crabs because he does have stats, so he's not like a range build like I am where he can just simply X-log on a crab. And I try to block the crab here to see if that would work. I think he undid me blocking it by walking on me like that, but the crab just walks right through me and goes to him. And there's not a thing I can do about that, although this is his last crab, so he puts his prey range up. And as soon as he runs, he's trying to gather more crabs. I'm just hoping to bring his prayer down, because these D-stone bolts, if they hit a 60, that's going to be a 30 through prayer. And with smite on, that is a lot of prayer drain. And he starts fighting back a little bit. And I'm keeping my smite up so he actually has a chance to deal some damage, because I don't want him just dipping out right away. If I can get him to exchange some hits with me, that's a good thing. He can't hit very much through my defense, though. Got it up to 76 with today's cap. Since I've got 96 range, I figure I'll just use the rest of my ranging cap on defensive and range. I might get magic up later so I can actually work with freezes and try going mage range hybrid, because it kind of sucks not being able to freeze people. But I'm still able to get kills regardless. So now he's on the square again. And then he's gone. Looks like he X-logged. But that escape of his was not in vain, because I found out about that single square right there. And now that I know about that mechanic from having him abuse it on me, I can incorporate that into my style myself, rather than just being totally blind to its existence like I was before. So this is definitely a learning PK trip. I'm only down a little bit on food, so I rushed right in for a dark bow spec with smite, and this guy's got protection. Very unfortunate. And I look around on the island a little more and don't seem to find anyone at all. So I decide to hop back to my home world of 408 and take a look at the island a little bit back on Zaya. But as I hop back, there's someone new here. So I go over and splash spec on him, didn't actually spec him, and then the dark bow gets on him. And he's not AFK, so he's eaten right away. He's got his prey ranged up, but his prayers should be pretty low with that dark bow smite. And just complete offensive ticking right now. Just double clicking the quick prayers once per tick so that I don't lose any prayer points at all. And for some reason he's still fighting the sand crab. I guess he's just simply trying to get as much XP as possible before he gets killed, because he knows he can't do any damage to me. Then at this point he's smited, and then there's some high hits with the D-bolts, and one more. He's down. Not very much there in terms of loot. Made my cash stack jump a little bit, but Those green d'hide chaps will sell in the GE because the free-to-play Deadman is still open, and the free-to-play players pay bank for that because that's their max range gear. So I'll chuck those in the GE and they should insta-sell right away. Ended up doing a walk around while I was skull, and as my skull timer wore down closer and closer, I got closer and closer to the safe zone, and I see this guy with 2 keys running up on me like he wants to fight, and I'm thinking he's going to come up here. Yep, and I don't want to fight him up there because I know he's going to have mage, and I don't want him to take advantage of obstacles too much, so I run out here to fight him, and yeah, let's see how this fight goes. This guy's got Mystics, D-Skirt, Outer Hood, and a Whip. So, full-on Tribrid versus Range Tank. We exchange hits back and forth for a little while. I haven't used any of my supplies yet, and I can see that he's used some of his, and he's also going to have less supplies because of all his switches, and he's got keys as well. So that puts him down at least 8 spaces. And our ticks are off here, so sweeping back and forth between Smite and my defensive prayers is really easy, and he's not moving around a whole lot. Like, in case you ever wonder why people move around so much when they PK, it's because it makes it harder to click on you. I should try and incorporate that a little more myself because I'm probably really easy to click on, but a couple close calls in this fight. Luckily I got that combo food. Just straight smiting him because I know he popped off his specs. I'm just brewing up and keeping my DPS up. Over 100 health, range pot up. And here I'm frozen and he's using the area of range to his advantage and stepping out of my range and going back in. He freezes me once more before he goes inside. Timed it wrong as my freeze wears off. Go in, do the last hit. And then boom, 5 keys. D-Skirt, Whip, Mystic. First Whip PK of the season. Feels good. Season's almost over. I know it's not too impressive, but that's a first for me. I've never actually PK'd a Whip in Seasonal Deadman, so feels good. Let's wait off the skull and check the bank. Alright guys, time to check out the keys. It's my first Whip PK of Deadman mode. Feels good. I haven't PK'd a Whip yet this season. I couldn't even get a Whip from Abyssal Demons. But let's see. That looks like junk, potions, and it's a lot of empty buckets. Try to think why you would have so many empty buckets. I'm guessing maybe crafting. Molten glass. Tuna, that'll help with potatoes. Ooh, that'll be great for smithing because I've got Ring of Foraging, so that's a good kill right there. This 420k key. Oh, the Slayer Enchant Scrolls. A couple of Dragon Daggers though, and some Dark Crabs. That matches the tuna potatoes, 50k cash. That's decent. The only bad thing in there is the Slayer Enchant Scrolls, but I'll add a slot to my bank, so that's just fine. And then a pleb key. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. See you next time. Well, I still managed to survive throughout the seasonal, even in some multi-fights. I mean, they were lower levels in multi, but still I'm not used to taking on multiple people at a time, and I managed to do 2 PK trips, getting 5 keys on both of them, and I got a whip PK. I'd say it's a pretty eventful day in Deadman mode. I'll see you guys soon with another video. I think at this point I'm just going to PK until I fall. I would mostly like a rematch with Torvesta with proper bolts, but I think he's quit for the season, unfortunately. Well, I'll see you guys soon with some more Deadman content, and after I fall finally, we'll be back on the Iron Man with the Road to Max. Peace, guys.